The thing is, this is so simple that you'll only need 10 to 15 minutes per week to actually apply this method. That's right, applying it won't take you more time than you're going to spend actually watching the explanation in this video. If you're anything like me, you're going to be familiar with this situation. You attack your week or day with a to-do list of things that you want to get done by the end of that particular day or week. You're confident, positive, ready to go, and as the day or the week goes by, you start pushing things. And what happens is you come out at the end of that week realizing that you really haven't done anything that was on your list or achieved anything meaningful. Today, I'm going to share a very practical step-by-step process that I learned years ago from a colleague. It's only 5 simple steps that you'll be able to take and use right away to get control over your time, both on a professional and personal level. I'll also add an extra step at the end that I'm sure you'll get value from. What tends to happen is that we start the week with a to-do list, but no real clear plan on when we're going to do the task or how long they're actually going to take. Or we actually end up getting sucked by other stuff like emergencies or asks from other people. We lose track of time, track of what we initially set out to do, and end up achieving much less than we wanted. To avoid this and gain control and clarity, we're going to use our calendar and have a look at 5 things in the following specific order. First, existing commitments. Second, excellence time. Third, green time. Then fourth, red time. And 5, flex time. One after the other. Starting with existing commitments. It's so important that it's a step 0, not even step 1. These commitments will actually shape your whole week as they already determine the time that you have left in that week for everything else. If this week you're attending an event that's going to take the whole week, every single day from 9 to 7 in the afternoon, then you know that you're going to have a lot less time than, let's say, if you only had 1 or 2 one-hour meetings scheduled. So have a look at these commitments and ask yourself if these are all things that you still want or need to do, or if there is anything else that you could cancel to free up some time. There is no right or wrong answer here, as long as you feel good about it before moving to the next step. In my case, you can actually see that I already have several commitments. Some are meetings that are already booked, but I also have a medical appointment here and a basketball training session on Thursday night. Also, keep in mind that you might have previous commitments that you forgot to put in your calendar, but verbally agreed to. In my case here, I've promised my family that we would go to the cinema on Sunday afternoon, so I'll put that in my calendar right now, allowing for some time to get there and come back. Once you have your pre-existing commitments validated, excellence time is what you need to consider. Excellence time is the time that you're going to dedicate to improving, learning, having a hard look at what you're doing and how you could do it better. And generally speaking, this is the one thing that, if not in the calendar, is not going to get done ever, because that's the first thing that we're going to cancel or to move if any emergency arises. But it's also one of the most productive and important things you can do, as it will allow you to improve in the future. As for every category, it can be related to your personal or professional life. It doesn't matter. Just put it in. If you need some time to change your work processes, make an improvement, read a parenting book, or simply watching this precise video to help you improve in your time management or do additional research, you'd better schedule that in now, or you'll probably never get down to it. How much excellence time you need in any given week will depend on you, your activity, how much you need to improve right now. In my case, right now, I try to get 2 slots of about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Let's put them in now. One of these sessions will be dedicated to work, the other to content creation. Now, let's talk about green time. Green time is the time that you're going to spend on activities that are at the core of what you want to achieve. If you want a clean house, they're the cleaning time. If you are a professional football player, that's your training and playing time. If you're a content creator, then recording, editing videos is green time, and so it would be scripting. Basically, any action that moves the needle and takes you closer to your goals. I'll use this step to make an important point. Each and every one of these categories are important, but the boundaries between them is somewhat flexible and will depend on how you personally see them. For example, on a professional level, for me, green time is the time that I spend either talking with the customer or working on a customer project. Because of that, the previous commitment I had for a customer meeting does qualify as green because that's part of the core of my work. On the other hand, if you personally are required to maybe spend time with customers, but that's not the core of your work, then that will probably move into the next category, which is red time, and we'll see that in a second. Also note on personal items, because I choose to spend some time with my family, have quality time, that makes spending time with my kids before they go to school or when they come back and before they go to bed also qualify as green. So I'll put that in my calendar. Now, let's move to red time. Red time is what I would call the necessary evil. It's the time that you need to dedicate to activities that are not the core of what you do. They're not helping you actually move forward, but you actually need to do them because you have to, and there's no way around it. At work, think about reporting, administrative tasks, putting in your expensive, everything that's not what you had in mind when you actually accepted that job offer. And let's face it, that you probably hate, but still have to do nonetheless. On a personal level, the same goes for paperwork that you have to fill and time you generally feel that you are wasting. Insisting again on the fact that green or red depends a lot on how you actually personally see things. I would personally put the time I spend on my taxes as red time because I'd rather not have to do it at all. But if you have a personal project to optimize your taxes as much as possible this year, that would make it a core activity and that would make it green for you. Finally, before getting to the secret extra step, flex time. Make sure you have enough spare time in your calendar. This is time you're going to be able to use to do whatever you feel like at that point in time, but also quite likely to handle anything unforeseen or unexpected. You can add flex time blocks in your calendar if you want to be absolutely sure, and I would actually recommend that. Or you can just make sure that you have enough time without anything else so that you can move things around if anything comes up. So make sure you have that because things do come up and you will absolutely need that at some point. At this point, you should have a pretty clear view of the week to come. Aim at achieving 80 to 90% of what's in there and treat all of these as meetings with yourself and don't move them if you wouldn't move a meeting you have with someone else. If you absolutely need to change your plans along the way, then you'll be able to move things around, switch activities between one day and another, but you will immediately know that what you set out to do actually fits in the week because you have these blocks that you can move around. And thanks to the use of flex time, you'll also be able to deal with anything that comes up and actually will have time dedicated to that. If anything too big comes up, you'll immediately see that it will either have to wait or that you will have to cancel something else or take it to a different week. Now that you have a clear view of your week, let me add, as promised, an extra step. Have a look at that week and think for yourself. What do you feel when you look at the week you have planned? Does it feel good? Do you feel like that's a week that you want to live? Do you feel like you have enough green time compared to the red time that you have? Is that a good ratio? Can you change any of it? Can you try to get a better week next week? Is there anything that you can delegate? Every single week, you'll now have the ability to have a hard look at what the week's going to look like and see if you want to consider changing anything to improve your weeks and enjoy them a lot better. It could be a variety of things. Maybe you simply commit to too many things in advance. Maybe you have too much red administrative time that's not bringing any value. Maybe you don't have enough flex time and anything that comes up actually derails your entire week. Use this tool not only to plan your week, but also to assess if that's the week that you actually want to have, or if you should try to change it week after week. In this video, we have seen how to gain better control of your time by using this simple 5-step process and categories. Again, commitments, excellence time, green time, red time, and flex time. We've also added an extra step to make sure we have a hard look at the week that's in front of us and think if there's anything we can actually improve to enjoy that week better. I hope this helps you get better at what you do and improve the way you feel about your days and weeks. If you like these videos, as always, subscribe for future content, send me a comment, and don't forget, we all face challenges. Let's keep making progress together.